Hi Aries, this is going to be your ex-partner reading and also your reading for singles, okay? As I mentioned, I'm going to combine the both. So over this side will be the ex-partner spread and over this side will be the spread for singles. Not quite sure how it's going to pan out. Secondly, I would just like to thank everybody that left such really nice comments in regards to me starting this reflexology course. You know, through the week I do have a full-time job, and also now through the week in the evening times I will be studying for this course, as well as trying to make sure that I get these readings up for you on weekends. So I'm going to be quite busy. So thank you anyway for all your positive comments. Thank you also for saying what types of readings you would like. It's just not possible with this course for me to be able to upload, you know, the work life, the singles, the ex-partner, the generals. So as I said, the only way that I feel I can do it is if I combine the singles with the ex-partner, and then that also gives me the opportunity to do the general readings, because although a lot of you I know are interested in the work-life readings, the vote did tend to steer more towards the ex-partner, the singles and the general. And you know, I have always said that as long as you are all still interested in knowing about your ex-partners, I will still continue to do that type of reading for you. The other thing is, now we're in the Aries season, so for everybody that's celebrating a birthday, I want to wish you a happy birthday. I too will be celebrating in April, okay? My birthday is April the 16th, so I don't know how many of you share that same birthday. But this is our month, so hopefully it's going to be a positive time for us. What I'm also doing this time is I don't never shuffle on camera. And there's two reasons for that. One, it does take a while to shuffle, and I try to keep the readings as short as possible because of the upload time. And the other reason is because of where I have to have my camera situated. It's just not possible. If I was to shuffle on camera, I know I'd be knocking the camera over. I really do need to invest in a tripod, so that way I can shuffle you know, while I'm doing the reading maybe. But as I said, it does just take up more time as well. And, you know, once you tend to hit over 20 minutes with these readings, it can take hours to upload. But what I did think I would do, ordinarily I have the cards already face up, and I thought this time I will leave them all face down and turn them over on camera one by one. So, we're going to start with the ex-partner. As always, you are on this side and your ex-partner is on this side. But as I always say, sometimes the energies can go vice versa. So please keep that in mind. I've also pulled a romance oracle card for these readings. And there's one for the ex-partners and one for the singles. So, starting off with the ex-partner. Aries, you have the Three of Cups here. Now, I know sometimes the Three of Cups can touch on a third party situation, okay? So it could very well be saying that, you know, maybe you are still interested in your ex-partner, but maybe they're in another relationship. But also the Three of Cups can be cause for celebration. So maybe for some of you, you have started to communicate with your ex-partner, or indeed in the month of April, which these readings are for, then maybe you're going to hear from your ex-partner. Maybe randomly they may send you a happy birthday message, and you know, a conversation may start to develop from that. The other thing with the Three of Cups is it can talk about your support network in terms of your friends. You know, it may be suggesting that at the moment, you know, you are socializing a lot with your friends. But it can also talk about how, if you've gone through this breakup quite recently, how maybe being with your friends and spending time with them is what's helping you to get through this breakup. Now, on your ex-partner's side, if I can pick the card up, these cards are really slippery. They have the Four of Swords. Now, the Four of Swords can talk about, it can talk about mental stress, okay, and needing to take some time out to recuperate. But the Four of Swords also can touch on a breakup, and it can touch on how there may, you know, have been, or in the present moment, there may be a break in communication between you both. That maybe your ex-partner is needing some time out to think about things, so is not communicating with you or hasn't been communicating with you over the recent weeks or months. The next card you've got is the King of Swords. Now, this is in your position of what you're thinking, feeling, or possible action to be taken. Now, the King of Swords for some of you could be that you are dealing with an air sign, Aquarius, Libra, Gemini. And maybe for some of you, you know, that is your ex-partner and that is who you are thinking about. But for some of you, it could be touching on your own energy. And the King of Swords, you know, he's very logical in his approach to things. He doesn't allow his emotions to get in the way when he is communicating or making decisions about something. He's very direct in his form of communication, and you know, also he's always looking for clarity and a better understanding. He's always looking to get to the truth of something. So again, that could be touching on your own energy if we're not talking about you dealing with an air sign. For your ex-partner, they have the Hermit, and you know, I guess not surprising to see the Hermit if we've got the Four of Swords up there, because the Hermit, again, it can talk about maybe, you know, this quiet time. The Hermit is this person that's soul searching, taking time to reflect on things, taking time to go within, to find the answers that they're searching for, to find out what it is that they may truly feel or want. So, you know, two cards here suggesting that there's no real communication coming from your ex-partner in regards to you. Now, if your ex-partner has kind of gone off the radar slightly and you know, you're not hearing from them and there's been no communication and they're in that kind of hermit mode where they're doing this soul searching, then maybe that King of Swords is your energy, where you're trying to find out what's going on with your ex-partner. You're trying to find out what they're up to. And I don't mean that in terms of spying, because we haven't got the Page of Swords here. But it may just be for you that if there is no real communication going on, it's leaving you in this position where you're trying to figure out, you know, what is going to happen. Now, when we get down to your outcome, we do have the Six of Swords. And the Six of Swords is a card that talks about needing to, you know, move away from something that's been quite turbulent. You know, having come from a place of maybe there's been arguments previously between you both and needing to move to a more peaceful time. It doesn't always mean physical movement, because the swords can be, very much to do with our communication and what we're thinking. So maybe for some of you, Aries, there has been some harsh communication from your side towards your ex-partner. And, coming into April, maybe you're going to change the way you're communicating towards them. But it could be touching on your own thoughts, okay? And coming into a more calmer, peaceful time, maybe after gaining some clarity and a better understanding of this situation. Now, on your ex-partner, we have the Three of Wands. So with your ex-partner, after a period of time of, with that Four of Swords, them taking a time out, the Hermit, them doing some soul searching, figuring out what it is they want, then we get this Three of Wands. And the Three of Wands is that time then when they've made that decision, okay? We've come from the Two of Wands, where it's a choice about which path we're going to take. Then we get to the Three of Wands, and that decision is made. And then, people often say with the Three of Wands that it's about waiting for that ship to come in, but the decision's been made here about which path to go down. A choice has been made, and now it's waiting to see what's going to happen, waiting to see the results of that. Your Romance Oracle card is passion. Allow your heart and soul to sing with joy. It may very well be, because when I read that bit at the bottom, allow your heart and soul to sing with joy, to me it kind of touches on that feeling of celebration. And maybe that Three of Cups at the very top there is going to be about some form of celebration, of you feeling happy if your ex-partner is going to contact you, okay? Obviously, it's not going to be for all of you. It may be here to suggest that there is this passion, this real passionate connection between you and your ex-partner. Either way, that's a positive card. In terms of clarifying, I'm not going to clarify so much on these spreads, purely because I'm doing the two spreads and I need to keep the time down, okay? But the Three of Wands is very, very much talks about how there's a decision made here. Some of you may very well hear from your ex-partner in this month of April. But if you do, then, be careful with that Six of Swords. As I said, the Six of Swords is moving to calmer, peaceful times. So just take that on board in terms of the way that you may be tempted to communicate with your ex-partner. Right, moving on to the singles. Now, this row is going to be for you, Aries. And this row, I've decided to really focus these three cards on the energies that may be coming in based on these cards, or actions that may be taken by somebody in regards to kind of what these cards are suggesting with you, okay? It probably sounds quite confusing. It was just something new that I kind of had in my head. I don't know how it's going to work. It may not make any sense at all. If it doesn't, then I'm sorry. I'm using the Rider-Waite with these single spreads, okay? Now, up here, strangely enough, we've got the Four of Swords up here for you, okay? Which is quite funny considering that your ex-partner's got the Four of Swords there. But the Four of Swords is that time, as I said, of needing to take a break, okay? Time out. It may just be here to suggest that for you, Aries, you've come out of a relationship, you know, at some point, and you may have just been choosing to be on your own, you know, maybe slightly being a bit of a hermit yourself, okay, not choosing to go out and look for somebody new. You know, maybe other people have approached you and, you know, you haven't shown any real interest. For some of you, it could be that you've come out of, you know, a heartbreaking breakup, and, you know, you've needed this time out. You've needed this time on your own. Now, over here, we've got the Ace of Cups. Now, this is a fantastic card. The Ace of Cups talks about a new emotional experience, something new coming through. The Ace is always a new beginning here. It may be here to suggest that you need to get out of this Four of Swords energy. Maybe, you know, you've taken too much time out, too much time on your own, okay? And it may be that if you can get out of this Four of Swords energy, then it may be that this Ace of Cups can then be brought into you, because this is very suggestive that there's something new here, something new in terms of feelings and emotions that, you know, is waiting to come through. But it could be that you are blocking this from taking place because you know, are taking too much time out. The next card, is the Six of Cups. I like the Six of Cups, but the thing that bothers me with the Six of Cups is it talks about looking back. It's a card of nostalgia. You know, have you been spending too much time looking back at a previous relationship that you've kind of been blocking this Ace of Cups energy from coming into you? The Six of Cups can be suggestive sometimes of somebody from your past coming back. Now, it may not be that they're coming back to be in your life again, but it may be that you might hear from them again, especially as this is your birthday month. As I said, maybe, like I said with the ex-partner spread, that maybe some of you may hear from somebody that you've had a relationship with, just a simple happy birthday message that may then lead to further conversations, you know, conversations about when you were together, this kind of reminiscing about the relationship that you both had. If it's not talking about you hearing from somebody from your past, then the Six of Cups, as I said, is suggesting that you're looking back maybe at a past relationship. And that's fine to do that, but you don't want to keep yourself in that energy for too long, because if you're constantly looking back, you're not going to be able to focus on what may be right in front of you, okay, or what's trying to come through. And here we have the Chariot on this side. Now, the Chariot is classed as the victory card in the major arcana, and it does talk about forward movement. And it can be positive forward movement, but both of these sphinxes need to be moving in the right direction here. Maybe for some of you, you know, you will hear from an ex-partner. And maybe there is going to be this forward movement, you know, in regards to you and your ex-partner getting back together, okay? As I said over here with the ex-partner spread, that Three of Wands there, where a decision has been made on the ex-partner side. So it may very well be that both of these readings are kind of running in together here. Now, the next card you've got is the Four of Wands. And the Four of Wands is the card, it can talk about celebration. The Four of Wands is often referred to as that card of talking maybe about moving in with somebody or becoming engaged or planning a wedding, okay? Obviously, if you're single now, you're not going to be in the month of April planning a wedding, okay? Maybe for some of you, if we are talking about an ex-partner here, it may be for some of you that there, talks come through from an ex-partner and you do decide to get back together again, and that could see you living together with each other. But the Four of Wands as well it talks about feeling at peace. It talks about feeling secure and happy within your home environment. But when it comes to relationships, the Four of Wands is a positive energy here. And then on their side, well, I say on their side, it's not their side, but on the other side, we have the Page of Wands. And the Page of Wands is a card of excitement, a card of passion. The thing with the Page of Wands, the pages are messengers, okay? So again, it could be some message coming through of somebody that has feelings for you, that, feels very passionate towards you. The Page of Wands, though, it's that type of energy where you don't necessarily know how this is going to go, how things are going to work out, but it's that passion and excitement to be able to give it a chance and see where it's going to lead. It's quite strange to me to see how some parts of these two spreads are kind of flowing into each other. But regarding the singles, there's something definitely coming through here, okay? The Page of Wands is fire energy, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, but I do tend to see the Kings and Queens, for me, more talking about a person than I do the pages, okay? But it could very well, for some of you, be talking about fire energy there. Now, your romance oracle card is this could be the one. You've already met the romantic partner you seek. Well, this card obviously goes with what I was saying with that Six of Cups. That for some of you single Aries, and it won't be all of you, but for some of you single Aries, it could very well be that in the month of April, you are going to hear from an ex-partner. Somebody that you've already been in a relationship with. Okay, I'm going to leave it there, okay, but I've actually really enjoyed doing this, and I don't know how it's going to be with the other 11 signs, but it's been quite strange for me to see how, with doing the ex-partner spread and the singles together, how some parts of the messages here, are kind of matching. So if you've liked the way I've done this, then, give it a thumbs up. If you don't like it, give it the thumbs down. Leave comments. I love to read your comments. As you know, I always try my best to reply to you, or at least like the comment that you've left. I always try to acknowledge your comments because it means a great deal to me to know that you've taken the time, out of your busy schedules to write something. So thank you. As I said, I hope you enjoy it. Thank you. Bye.